Here's 3 years of growth watching these very acorns here grow into beautiful little oak trees. Now the main species that I'm using here are northern red oak, but there are a few different species mixed in as well. You can see them growing very nicely. I did a video covering the first year of these oaks extensively and how to germinate them, so I'll link a video if you want to check that out. But you can see how nicely the second and third sets of leaves are growing in their first summer here. I will say you should use a deeper pot than what I'm using. They have a very deep tap root and it's important that that can develop, so make sure you consider that when germinating them. A good portion of these trees I planted at my in-laws' place. I gave a bunch away, luckily, to some family and friends, and the remaining ones were winterized and were used next spring at my friend's property. But you can look and see these beautiful autumn colors on so many of the different oak species here. In their first winter, they look like little sticks poking out of the ground. In the following year, you can see the oak trees pushing their new growth, start of the second growing season, and here we are at my buddy's property planting the rest of them out, looking beautiful. Now you might have seen this video in my first year update, and you can see that beautiful little northern red oak there, and we'll be following the progression of this oak in the second year, just because my in-laws ended up selling this property and buying a new one, but I was determined to continue the series. So I dug this one up because it was at the end of the property, but it was only about 8 meters from this one here that we were just following. So a bit of an unexpected curveball, but watch this oak in 1 year go from this to this. Beautiful oak, survived the hot summer. You can see from this point here, that point, that's where it started to grow in the spring. And then you can see this first section here up to here was the spring growth. And then we had that really hot patch and you can see it kind of got stressed and crisped. And I was a little worried, but I kept the water up on it. And then since that hot part, the end of summer, it's grown all this new growth. So I'm really happy it survived. But yeah, there's the update. So it's just finished its second growing season. The second winter for these oak trees passed, and heading into spring, the buds began to swell and it was a perfect time to dig this tree up. There was a few months before the move, but this is the optimum time to dig a tree up, just as the buds are swelling on the tree, and it came up very easy. It was sad that we had to do this, but you can't really change certain things in life. It lost a lot of roots, but it potted up really nicely. And then there was another challenge. Now this is an apple tree, but it's the best example I can show you. It looked like some kind of mouse or a rat got access to the middle of the trunk of the tree, maybe when it was snowing, and ring barked a bunch of my trees. So you can see, I'll mark it out here, I had to prune it just above this branch. So another setback yet again. It did grow back very strong in the spring and the summer, pushing many sets of leaves, which was a positive. And then you can see here by the middle of summer, it had grown to its full potential for the year, and it had made a lot of progress compared to that little trunk chop. So you can see the scar there. But then after all these sets of leaves, it focused on growing the taproot. So I actually extended the pot so that it could grow further. Now notice the difference in trunk thickness between a 1-year-old northern red oak and a 3-year-old northern red oak. So despite the height setback, we got great root recovery and trunk development. Here it is being planted in my in-laws' new property, and It's about time. It deserved to be in the ground after such a terrible year for it. And thankfully, this will be its final location. It's in an absolutely prime location here. It gets morning and end of the day direct sunlight, and then there's mature trees to give it dappled light throughout the hot afternoon sun. It will also get irrigated 2 to 3 times a week from the lawn sprinklers, so this is going to really set it up for the next couple of years. This is at the end of the year and it's got its full colors, but it's also very crispy. I mean, you can't blame it. It got dug up, trunk chopped, planted in a new spot in the middle of summer. But I wasn't taking any chances at this new place. I gave it a little temporary tree guard for the winter, completely encircling it, even at the top, and then I'll put a better one in at springtime. This tree's about, 44 to 45 centimeters, which is just under 18 inches. And I cut off 1 foot of growth from the trunk chop, so that's about, it's just 30 centimeters, so say 45 plus 30, 75. So if I didn't make that trunk chop, this is how tall the tree would roughly be. About here. That's a big difference. So a few setbacks for this oak, but next season is going to be really good. Here's some other oaks that I planted as well this summer. They're only 1 year old now. So hopefully we'll have some good progression shots of those two, and hopefully they won't be as disturbed as this other oak that I've been documenting here. And you know what? It's a shame that we lost a year of height growth, but we're planting these trees for hundreds of years, not just ourselves. So it's a good learning curve to be patient and think in tree time and not hour time. Oaks definitely don't grow as fast as some species, like this willow. This grew 6 feet in literally about 6 months. Oaks are usually not like that, but they are one of the most beautiful and iconic trees in all of the world. So it'll be worth the wait.